I'm here now with Derrick O'Hurley. He is the Director of Operations for Cool Harbor. Prior to this role, he was a longtime executive for Pepsi, and I think he could speak pretty intelligently on the topic today. But first, what I want to ask you, Derrick, is what is PackLIMS?
Okay, so PackLIMS is a laboratory information management system, or a LIMS, and it was designed with packaging suppliers and packaging laboratories and for packaging suppliers and packaging laboratories in mind. The reason we designed it is because we saw that with our years of packaging experience and packaging consultancy, that there was a gap in laboratories trying to capture this data. We know that it's difficult to capture data, and in particular for packaging laboratories, the equipment doesn't lend itself very well, or some of the tests are done manually. So how do we capture that? So we realized there was a gap there, and then in consultation with packaging suppliers, we figured out that if we develop something, that they would need it and that they would use it. And that's how PackLIMS came about.
And what is it that makes PackLIMS different? What's the differentiator between your software and maybe a competitor's software?
Yeah, so there are many LIMS systems, that's true. But there aren't many LIMS systems that are focused on packaging. In fact, there are none that are focused on packaging. That's why we realized that, maybe if somebody did something, it would help for packaging suppliers to capture their data. But one of the difficulties with packaging is it's not easy to capture data. Some of the testing equipment doesn't lend itself very well to having files that you can easily import and therefore get results. Or even just some of the tests themselves don't make it easy to capture the data. So what we did is we've developed a unique data capture mechanism, and that is our key differentiator. It is unique. It's an application that allows us to capture data wirelessly, automatically, directly from the screen of equipment. So it makes it easy for us to capture. It means we can capture everything, and therefore it goes into the LIMS system, and therefore it's processed after that. There's no manual transcription. It's automated, so therefore it saves you time, it saves you effort, it reduces waste, all of these things. It optimizes your process.
Are there any bottling plants currently using your software, or is bottling plants even the target at all? Are there other suppliers in the industry that might use the same software that you have?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Bottling plants, beverage locations, beverage facilities, pretty much anybody who uses packaging, food packaging, would be our audience. Now, they do use existing systems, but again, from our experience, we know that packaging is a laboratory that's usually left to the side because it's difficult to capture the data. So even our competitors have difficulty to capture the data from packaging labs, and they really don't do it. Our technology is different. Our competitors don't use this technology, and therefore that allows us to be able to do it. So while there are others, we feel we're in a prime position. With our experience with packaging, we understand the industry, we understand bottlers, we understand suppliers, so we know how it needs to work and needs the flexibility that it needs to have for it to work for them. And I'd say one final thing, usually with the implementation of a LIMS system, a lot of the work is done where it's 80%, 90% customization and 10% off the shelf. Our system is certainly the other way around. You could take 80, 90% plug and play right now. The other 10% really is around what you want to see, what type of reports do you want to see, what KPIs do you want, those kind of things that are specific to you. We are working with PepsiCo in Cork in Ireland and in their packaging laboratory there. So we've gone live there. And the plan is to now take it to their lab in New York. We're also working with other PepsiCo bottlers to see how it can work for them. We're looking at PepsiCo suppliers, other packaging suppliers, global packaging suppliers who are based in Europe, the Middle East, and in Latin America also, who are now trialing the system as we speak.
Talk about some of your experience in the industry. I mentioned quickly that you were with Pepsi for a long time, but what exactly were you doing with Pepsi, and is that the key to your career so far?
I have more than 30 years in the packaging arena, shall we say. During that time, I was packaging tester, so I know the fundamentals of how we need to test packages and the equipment that's used. Packaging consultant, I was a trainer, I'm an auditor. So I was doing that for many years in PepsiCo and traveled the globe teaching people how to test and how to use equipment. So I did that for many years. When I left PepsiCo, I then became a packaging consultant, and I've been doing that since then. And it was during that time, so doing the consultancy and doing the training, that we realized, like I said, that there is a gap. The laboratories don't have systems, and that's what allowed us to figure this out. So we spent many years in laboratories globally, figuring out how they work, but also helping them how to improve. And one of those is using a LIMS system. In my time in PepsiCo, I was responsible for the implementation of the LIMS system into the beverage lab. But even at that time, it was difficult to do package testing using LIMS. So it wasn't done and it was left, which is why now the lab in Cork has taken this on. They've had this gap for many years, and they realize it actually fulfills a digital transformation that they need, and it bridges a gap that they also have. So just to kind of summarize, PackLIMS allows you to capture data automatically. You get automatic transcription of data, reducing errors, manual errors, but it also allows you to then further analyze that data and to see what KPIs you need, what tests you perform the most, what tests you perform the least, which ones are most important, which ones fail most, and therefore allow you to look at your process and improve that. So I think if you're interested in something like that, please give us a call. Just want to finally say that we're very happy to be a member of the ISP team. We look forward to seeing you at BevTech in Amsterdam in September, and hopefully we'll see you next year in the US, wherever that may be, hopefully Orlando, Florida again. So yes, like we said, if there's anything you want to follow up on, just let us know, or go to our website and you'll find some more information on PackLIMS there.